Morning, morning, morning. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to a little bidding video. The car you're about to see is due for auction on Boxing Day. Now I'm hoping that on Boxing Day not many people are going to bid. Companies that bid are obviously off because it's a bank holiday. Are people generally going to bid on Boxing Day? Probably not. But the car you're about to see, which I'm going to show you before the bidding, is a car you may recognise. If you've been with me for a few months or more, you may recognise this car. So let's go, let's show you the car on Copart and see if you recognise it. Let's go. Okay, so some of you have been with me for some time. Certainly for those of you who have been with me for 2023 will remember a very similar looking car to this that I did back in July, or I sold back in July. As you can see, it's 75,000 miles, it's 13 plate, and it's a stolen recovered with minimal damage, with a bit of secondary damage at the rear end. We'll take a look at the photos in a minute. It's grey, Campervola grey, which is the same colour as my one. Petrol, obviously, nothing much else to write home about. Additional information doesn't really show anything of any use. Isofix, blah blah blah. Previous category S. Okay, so that is what it says. So this is on Boxing Day, so you're probably not going to see this till next year, but this was on Boxing Day, or is on Boxing Day as far as I'm concerned while I'm recording this now. It's currently at £1,100. When I started watching this was about 3 days ago, when I spotted it, it was at £225. It hasn't gone up since yesterday, so it's been at 1,100 for the last about 24 hours, I suppose. So if we look at the car itself, so we'll look at the pictures in detail. We can see it's got the what do you call it, Scorpion there, which is very similar to the one that I put on. It's also got the little stripes there, which are very similar. My project name on this car was Project Gluey. Now I'm sure you've already all realised that it's not just looks like the car that I sold back in July. It is the car I sold back in July with an altered number plate. You'll see how they've altered it. So the number plate for my car was DN13 PVA, as it was called, Project Gluey. And of course, as you can see there, which shows better on the back picture, you can see where some masking tape has been put on the 3 to make it into an 8, and on the P to make it into a very crude looking B. So that's what the thieves have done. In case you hadn't realised, it was stolen. That's the little bit of damage. So the paint's been scratched off there. It looks like something's been taken out of the boot. I mean, that was a giveaway straight away because it's got my dodgy parking sensor there, which I didn't know where to put. And put it in that bit above. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I posted on there, and I think I must have mentioned it on the channel as well, that this car was stolen about less than a month after the person bought it, and I've been waiting for it to come up ever since on Copart, and of course it finally has. So let's just have a look through the pictures. So we'll go back to the original picture. So as you can see, there's no damage to it. No damage to it. It's all good. It's got my lovely back lights that I put in. We've got that little bit of damage to the back bumper, but that's it. Nothing else. The interior, the only damage inside, as you can see, it doesn't run because there's no keys. That's the damage. So if we zoom in on there, so we can see there that the ignition, this bit here, has been broken, and obviously that's part of it. The wires, I don't know whether the wires have been tampered with there or not. It's difficult to tell. Probably the rest of the ignition is lying in the car somewhere, I imagine. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to tell. And then over here we can see that. So there's a black wire with a bit of blue tape on the end of it. Can you just see there by the steering wheel motor, steering column motor, I should say. Now I don't know if that's something that the thieves have done. So there could be an issue with this getting it going, but I'm sure we can fix it. I've done much worse ones than that before. So, as I say, this is on Boxing Day, and I want to get this car back. Okay, today is Boxing Day. The auction is in progress, as you can see there, and we're about 5 or 6 lots away. Now, it was on, I think, was it Christmas Eve? Yeah, I think it was Christmas Eve. It went up to 1,950, which was really annoying. And then that later on that evening, it went up again, and it's currently at £3,000. Now it's been like that. It's been at £3,000 since Christmas Eve evening. Today's Boxing Day, so that's sort of the maximum I wanted to pay for it. So I'm prepared to go a couple of £100 more, but no more really. So we'll see. As I say, it's about 5 or 6 away. It's probably 4 or 5 away. So it's looking unlikely that we're going to get it. Although, you know, if I have one more bid, which will go up by what, £25 is it, or £50? Not sure. If I go up, then it may actually not change. It might stay, because you often with these types of things you'll get people that are bidding beforehand, but when it actually comes to it on the day, it doesn't receive any bids, which is what I wanted to do, but be about £2,000. So I got it cheaper, as it's a pure sale. So my theory of various things on there putting people off has not worked. Of course, very little damage, nothing to speak of on the outside, so that's probably what's pushed up the bidding. But never mind. So we'll come back in a few minutes when it's up, and then we'll show you the live bidding, and hopefully we can have a bit of a bid. This is the one. No, this is the one before. I was just about to say no one's bidding, and all of a sudden they have bid on this. This is an old 2006 Honda Civic, £200.
Sold on approval.
£200 for get in. Oh, it's not the next one. Sorry, it's the next one now. This is 1112, and the car is 1113. So £800, £775 at the moment on this old 1989 Mercedes Benz, used unrecorded.
Sold on approval.
Cheap, wasn't it? Right, here we go.
Your watch item is next on the block.
So, what are we going to do? No one's going to bid? No one's going to bid. Let's go in with one bid. See if anyone else bids. Am I going to get it for 3? That's my last bid. 3,150. No, that's it. Not buying it. They can have it. No. Oh well.
Bonus time.
Or should we have one more? No. No, I set myself 3,200 was my target, and that's what it's at now, so I'm not going to bid.
Sold.
Oh well. So I am quite disappointed about that. I really wanted to get that back again. I've even bought stereo for it. That's Sean just texted me because he was going to watch it live. I told him about it and he was going to watch it live. He's now obviously going to be asking me whether that was me that bought it or not. I would have loved to have got that back again. I've got receipts for it. I've got the receipt for the cam belt being done. Obviously I know about the car. What I am going to do is I'm going to contact Copart in Sandwich and say, could you pass my email address on to the winner? I can give them some information. Yeah, see, I was going to contact the previous owner and ask him for the documents, which he's probably still got. They might be in the car, but probably not. Yeah, shame. Never mind. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. It wasn't meant to be. We'll be buying an Abarth soon. We're going to get another Abarth. There is another one that I was potentially interested in. Potentially, I'm not sure. Which is on a buy now for 2,250. It's a 13 plate again, but it's a Turismo. It's got the brown seats in it. I'm not really keen on those brown Abarth seats. It has done higher mileage. It's 78,000 miles. I'm contemplating it, although I would really like to get a facelift one. But we'll see. Anyway, but it wasn't to be. C'est la vie. So that's the end of that short video. Until the next time, don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, click on there, especially if you like the R baths. There will be an R bath coming soon. I promise you I will be getting one soon. So yeah, if you're not a subscriber, as I say, hit the button, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and until the next one, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.